harsh, but I don't know how to get through to you. Because you don't seem to know that you are everything a girl could dream of. Baby, won't you hear me? Don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, won't you hear me when I say, don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, don't you talk to me that way.
So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter, bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower,
say you need a timeout, think you mean a buyout, cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. And I quit my job for you, even quit some friends for you, cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent, so you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you, when I could add up 2 and 2, when you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. This time I think I get it. This love was overrated. No more infatuated. And I blame it on you. I blame it on you. Yeah. This time I hope you get it. In love you shouldn't fake it. No, I'm old enough to take it. So just say it to me. Say it to me. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so maybe I can't let it go. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Before it's over. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. I remember when you told me it's alright. Don't know why I could not see. We have to stay together now. Save me some time. Come help me find the light. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Wait for me, baby. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now.
What a night, people dancing in slow motion, blurry eyes. But I've had enough, it's time to say goodbye. 3 a.m. as I'm walking home with a smile. Smoky moon, like a shiver, all the shadows fade away. All your streets are empty, lights begin to sway. 4 a.m. as I think, oh, Stockholm love. Sometimes I picture.
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? I'm J Red Unfiltered, back with another show. And, I just want to say that I want to have a conversation today, and we're going to get into it. It's basically a part 2 of last night's stream, where we looked through the judge basically ordering Fani Willis to either step down or to get Nathan Wade off the case. So at the end of the day, it was kind of like basically what I believe to be a political move, right? But before I get into that, I just want to say, for each and every one of you that's watching, I thank you and I appreciate you for being here. You could be anywhere doing anything in the world, but you're here rocking it out with me, and I appreciate you. So thank you. And basically, I want to start by having a conversation about Nathan Wade, and let's actually just recap, just give a brief synopsis of what happened You know, let's just assume that people don't actually know what happened. So basically, Nathan Wade and Fani Willis specifically, brought a case against the former president Donald Trump on the basis of election interference. She's accusing him of attempting to interfere with the election. So Fani Willis, she hires Nathan Wade. She hires Nathan Wade to help be a special prosecutor on this case, and the two of them go against Donald Trump, right? And co-defendants. So in the process of that, one of the co-defendants basically reveals that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis were in a relationship, and actually they basically start this whole hearing trying to get her disqualified on the basis of conflict of interest, appearance of conflict of interest, and appearance of impropriety. You know that type of thing. And what we have is this long drawn out hearing where they bring out things, they examine, they're trying to figure out the nature of when Fani and Nathan began their affair. Turns out that there was money being exchanged hands, and like there's a lot of things that's going on in this case that just are just clear cutthroat ethical violations. And that's just no other way to say it. They're just clear ethical violations. And what Fani did is Fani has been very defiant and resistant throughout this whole process. And I made several videos basically how I believe that Fani and Nathan Wade, and by extension Terrence Bradley, who's another attorney, the former friend of Nathan Wade, how they present this really piss poor image of what we're supposed to be looking up to in Black society. And I think that that's really sad, and it's really telling. But eventually, all the hearings came to a close, right? And the judge was left with a decision whether he's going to disqualify Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, basically in her entire office, and, you know, basically give Trump the victory that he wants in this situation, or whether he's going to basically let Fani get away with this clear, blatant corruption. So that's the decision that we were faced with. Yesterday, we looked at the order from the judge, and the judge basically, he did not disqualify Fani because he did not find actual conflict of interest. He didn't find actual conflict of interest. What he did find was an appearance of conflict of interest. And to rectify what he was explaining, and this is just me paraphrasing, but he was explaining that when there's an appearance of conflict of interest, there's a number of different solutions or things that can be done to remedy the situation, as opposed to if there's a clear conflict of interest. If there's a clear conflict of interest, then guess what? She's out of here. Disqualification. If there's an appearance of conflict of interest, then there's a number of things that we can do. And so the judge gave her the option. Either Fani, you either step down, or Nathan Wade is out. Those are your options. You choose. So what do you think that Fani chose, right? Damn near immediately, Nathan Wade resigns. Fani Willis accepts his resignation. And like, let's just look at this, because golly, and it was just so quick too. Let's just look at this real quick.
Get matched with a local tax expert and hand off your taxes with TurboTax Live Full Service.
Now it's sort of all wrapped up, and I think So we've got breaking news. We're going to head back actually to Georgia, where the special prosecutor there, Nathan Wade, who we just mentioned, has actually resigned from Donald Trump's Georgia election trial. As you know, we reported the judge's ruling, Scott McAfee, today, where he said that DA Fani Willis could remain on the case if Nathan Wade were to leave. And it looks like what we were predicting has happened. We've now received actually the letter that Nathan Wade wrote to the office of Fulton County District Attorney there, Fani Willis, that he was going to remove himself from the case.
And he says in this letter, the furtherance of the rule of law and democracy is and always has been the North Star of our combined efforts in the prosecution of those who are alleged to have attempted to overthrow the results of Georgia's election.
I just want y'all to continuously pay attention to the way, and they're consistent, I'll give them that. But listen to the way that Nathan and Fani they're always framing this. It's always about democracy. It's always about the bigger picture. It's always about some big villain. These people were trying to overthrow democracy. These people were trying to get rid of democracy. You shouldn't be mad at me. You shouldn't be upset at me because of my corruption and my bad behavior. You shouldn't worry about me because guess what? They're trying to overthrow the election. They're trying to take away democracy. I don't believe that's true, but guess what? They're trying to take away democracy. So don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. And that's what they're saying. And it's classic leftist whataboutism. That's the truth of the matter. It's classic leftist whataboutism because that's always what they do. No, don't worry about what I'm doing. Why are you judging me for what I'm doing? Look at what he's doing. Instead of addressing the bad behavior and the clear, distinct corruption that is going on. It's classic leftist fallacies, man.
Directed by the order in the state of day in the case, he says, I hereby offer my resignation. And Fani Willis wrote him back, Nathan Wade. She says, I will always remember and will remind everyone that you were brave enough to step forward to take on this investigation. You are an outstanding advocate. Please accept my sincere gratitude on behalf of the citizens of Fulton County, Georgia, for your patriotism, courage, and dedication to justice. Let's bring in ABC News investigative reporter.
Do y'all think that they knew? They probably knew about this judgment before everybody else, right? So, yeah, y'all think that they probably already had those letters already pre-made? I do.
Olivia Rubin, along with former Georgia District Attorney, prosecutor Chris and ABC News contributor Chris Timmons. So first, Olivia catches up to speed here. I've just taken a quick look at this. This comes as no surprise, right?
No surprise at all, and I think you just hit the key points in that letter saying from Nathan Wade that he is resigning in the interest of democracy. And I think what is so key to remember about this decision that the DA's office made here, Terry, is that this is the route that is going to let them move forward with the prosecution of Donald Trump as quick as possible. You know, possibility of an appeal aside, efforts to appeal set aside, this means that the case will move forward essentially effective immediately because she is not stepping down, so there is no need for the case to go over to an independent body, to have a new prosecutor assigned, to slow the case down in that way. It prevents any further stalling in this sense. So because of this decision, the case now moves forward with the district attorney and her entire team that has been working on this case, many of them for years, Terry.
So
that's why if you pay attention to the title, Nathan Wade is really the only person that's losing. Well, because he gets into this position. He gets into this position. Right. The man allegedly was getting cheated on by his wife. Man is a cancer survivor. Like, this man, like, has all his business put out there in the front street. Along with Fani. But mainly his business, because he's the one that has an open divorce case, right? This guy is in a position that he's not qualified for. And that's just the truth of the matter. He's not qualified for that position because he's never prosecuted a felony. He's never prosecuted a felony. He shouldn't be there. He's a municipal court judge. And he's gone from that to basically prosecuting the big dog, Donald Trump. But guess what? Because him and Fani was smashing, because they were knocking boots, guess what? Because he was spending that money that he was getting on her, now all of a sudden, everything that he worked for is gone. Everything is gone. And he's the only one that has to suffer any consequence. It's not like him and Fani are still together. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? She gonna break him off some of the money? They not together. Allegedly. I'm gonna change the poll question, because actually I want to know, like, was it worth it, Nathan? That's what I want to know, because was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Chris, we're all reading the letters here, and I don't know if you both had a chance to read both, but the letter that Wade sent Fani Willis, and then Fani Willis's.
Coming in the
Wayfair presents Accent Furniture. Ooh la la. Save on cabinets in every style.
now it's sort of all wrapped up, and I think, just like everything.
This means that the case will move forward, essentially effective immediately, because she is not stepping down. So there is no need for the case to go over to an independent body, to have a new prosecutor assigned, to slow the case down in that way. It prevents any further stalling in this sense. So because of this decision, the case now moves forward with the district attorney and her entire team that has been working on this case, many of them for years, Terry.
So, Chris, we're all reading the letters here, and I don't know if you both had a chance to read both, but the letter that Wade sent Fani Willis, and then Fani Willis's respond to Wade, I mean, they may have broken up, and it may not have worked out romantically, but these letters, I mean, I'm just addressing the elephant in the room here, okay? But the letters here, they're very respectful. They clearly thought about what they said. They're being very...
This is obviously this is mainstream media, so I'm trying to let them get through it, guys. They're obviously biased. I'm just gonna be honest. These people aren't interested in being impartial. They're not interested. Like, what are you talking about? Respectful? Like, what else are they gonna say? They're going along to get. You think that this really hurts anybody but Nathan Wade? Let's just be for real. You really think he's the one that got to figure out what he got to do now? Hey Maria, hope you're doing well. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we just basically just talking about how Nathan Wade is basically just got thrown under the bus by Fani, and how he's the only person that I believe that's really suffering anything, that's facing any real consequences. I don't see it from anybody else, because at the end of the day, Fani got off easy, in my opinion. In my opinion, Fani got off easy, and she just, it was nothing for her to just say, like, I don't think there was ever any chance of anything else. That if we're just being honest. Maria says he was the only loser in the case. I agree. I 100% agree. I drank liquor from the liquor store. Says I love that. He should have never played in the fanny pot. That's absolutely true, and that's what it is. Sometimes that's literally why they tell you not to crap where you eat sometimes, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, this is bad, and I mean, it's bad because how do you come out of this situation being the only loser? You know what I mean? Like, Fanny talking about they closer than ever. Their friendship has been cemented forever. And that's because you have to basically sacrifice yourself. You have to be the sacrificial lamb. And if you weren't willing to play along and do that, then maybe she would have that same energy, that same hyena energy. Maybe she would be directing that towards you. And that's just, I'm sorry. Like, that's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. He crashed out. I hate to say it, but Nathan Wade crashed out.
Legal in what they're writing, but also,
well, his crash out is different than other people's crash out. So I'm just saying that in perspective. Like his crash out is different than other people's crash out. So, you know,
kind of patting each other on the back, as in, you know, you were brave, you were great. Glad we did this, and good luck, and keep on with your adventure here.
Yeah, I mean, Kira, so these letters were written in mind with millions of people going to be reading them. So I'm sure there were multiple drafts in between the time that we got the ruling early this morning and now. So, you know, I think she knows what she wanted to say. It's essentially a press release from both of them. Nathan Wade saying that, you know, now is the time for us to put forward the interests of the citizens of the United States, the voters who voted in the 2020 election, and to put all of those things above himself. So it's a very well-written letter, very gracious letter, but it does exactly what Judge McAfee wanted to have happen in this case. That means that Nathan Wade is resigning. There's no reason at this point for the state to appeal his order. Not that we thought that they were going to do that, but that removes any question of the state coming into an appeal. And then it sets up whether the defense at this point wants to try to remove Fani Willis, who remains. And so that's really where we are at this point, Kira, that we've essentially got two press releases.
And I just want to talk about this again for a second, because this is actually a great point. This is a great point. He should have never played in that, like, because when you think about this, they're in this situation because they were smashing. And it's like, because he was smashing her, now he's got to go through all this. His public image has just been put on Front Street. Not just that. You know, do you know Fani actually had the nerve to get on stand and talk about how they couldn't have relations at a particular time because his thing wasn't working, because he was going through cancer. His thing wasn't working. And then she got up there and said, well, you know, you want me to answer this question, but I'm not going to emasculate them. Even the attorney was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, you just brought attention to something that didn't need to be brought an attention to. That's the type of woman that Fani is. She throws him under the bus. She's throwing men under the... And honestly, I don't want to spoil my point of why I'm talking about this, but yeah, let's just keep going into this, because Fani she's been throwing Nathan Wade under the bus, and she's been throwing everybody under the bus, and she's power hungry, she's sick. All she cares about is maintaining her reigns on this case. And that's the truth. That's the truth. This is sick. It's sick. Maria says, how in the world are they going to find a jury pool that hasn't heard about this? No, yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. Exactly. This is corruption at its finest. If we're just really being honest, this is absolutely just asinine. It's corrupt, because there's never gonna be able to be a fair trial after this. There's never going to be able to be a fair trial after this. But, you know, there's not really much we could do about it, though, I guess. You know, but I'm just going to get back into this. But I just want to pose the question, just if you were Nathan, would you think it was worth it? Would you think it's worth it? Gene Holtree says the federal government is not through with Fani Willis yet. She visited with Vice President Kamala Harris before the indictment in 2023. The corruption runs deep. Yes, absolutely true. Absolutely true. There's no telling what kind of chaos those two have been working around. You know what I mean? This whole thing, This whole thing could have possibly been orchestrated by the Biden administration. Like, Fani is obviously working for somebody. She's backed by the Democrats. She works with the Democrats. She is, yeah, it's just, you're absolutely right, Gene. You're absolutely right. And I appreciate everybody's comments. Thank you. Keep them coming.
Releases that came out, and they tell us importantly that those two are off the case, or that Nathan Wade is off the case, that she remains.
Right. And Chris, if I can follow up and ask you a question about, the Judge McAfee's order was so tough. He said there wasn't enough evidence to determine a conflict of interest, but that was in part because of what he said was the odor of mendacity around their testimonies. And what is the reaction of the...
And that's absolutely true. Do you know do you know how bad that judge tore into them? It was really bad. And you got to think about it. Fani is one of the most she's supposedly one of the most powerful women in Atlanta. So the fact that a black woman who, and I've said this numerous times, little black girls are supposed to be looking up to this woman. And she's just the worst representation of what black people are. Am I wrong to say that? Am I off to say that Fani is not a good representation of black people? Let me steel man you guys for a second, and let's just say that you're right. She doesn't represent the entire culture. Let's just say that Fani doesn't represent the entire culture. Then would it not be saying that she is still a poor representation of what could be? What is? She's a bad representation. She is not a good example of what young black women should aspire to be. Is that fair to say?
Of the public been there and of the bar. These letters are very effusive in their language towards each other. Is that opinion shared by the general public, or is this kind of a black eye on the Fulton County District Attorney's Office?
Well, so like I said, the order of mendacity is not something you ever want said about you or your case as a prosecutor. It's highly, highly unusual to see a judge criticize the sitting district attorney. Keep in mind, this is not the only case she has before Judge McAfee. He can have up to 1,000 criminal cases, all of which are brought in the name of Fani Willis, pending in his courtroom at any given time. To use that kind of language toward her, I think was done thoughtfully, but also to indicate his displeasure with the way that this case has been treated up until this point. Nevertheless,
and he said that she was very unprofessional. So it's not like the way that she was behaving is something that she was just ready for them. No. Even the judge said that Fani went up there and acted a fool. Let's just be for real. This is just sad.
at the end of the day, the DA's office, despite having these scathing comments written about them, is able to continue. And that's sort of what you're getting from the bar, is that this was not a good look on behalf of Fani Willis or Nathan Wade. There was even some confusion at the beginning of this case as to why Nathan Wade was handling it. Now it's sort of all wrapped up. And I think, just like everything else, all eyes on Georgia, and let's move ahead with this trial.
You've worked with Fani Willis. I don't know if you've worked with Nathan Wade. Please tell me if you have or haven't. But do you know? Okay, you have. So do you have any idea if they're still friends?
I don't. So I'm not personal friends with either one of them. Nathan Wade was a longtime defense attorney, particularly had a number of...
Could you be friends with somebody that would just throw you under the bus like that? Well, I think he did it willingly, but I think that's because Fani is a puppet master, and she's gotten into his head, and she's convinced him that he's doing the right thing by allowing her to continue the good fight. The good fight. Oh, we got to take down the orange man. So we got to have this good fight. You're sacrificing yourself, Nathan Wade. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about all the money that you're gonna lose. It doesn't matter about all this scrutiny that's going on. That it doesn't matter that you still have an open divorce case. It doesn't matter that you're gonna have to deal with the things that went on, Nathan Wade. Guess what? I'm gonna get to continue to fight. I'm gonna get to continue to fight.
Cases up in Cobb County, and that's one of the jurisdictions where I was a prosecutor. A good guy, very nice, easy to work with, thoughtful. I'm not surprised that he stepped down. I'm a little surprised at the speed. I thought they might take a little bit of time, maybe do it Monday, but that's a credit to his character that he recognized that he was an impediment to this prosecution.
You really think he had a choice, buddy? Like, let's just be for real. You really think Nathan Wade had a choice?
At least according to the judge, and he removed himself and that impediment from the case. I wouldn't have been surprised even if there was no disqualification of either one of them for him to resign just to get him out of the picture. I think as Nathan Wade is, sitting in a courtroom, particularly with a group of jurors, those jurors are going to be thinking about the relationship that he has with Fani Willis. So I think moving forward, we won't see Nathan Wade obviously anymore, but I don't think we're going to see much of Fani Willis in the courtroom. I think she's going to try and remove herself from the situation, get rid of that odor of mendacity that the court talked about, get rid of, the image of her being unprofessional on the stand, and let the facts of this case govern whether there's guilt or innocence of any of the defendants in this case.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, this is insane. Maria says, I want to know if a new prosecutor will be paid an exuberant amount as well. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Are you gonna be paid 3 times as much as everybody else? Let's really see. Let's really see if this new prosecutor is gonna be paid 3 times as much as everybody else. Let's also see. No, not even 3 times. You got paid $500,000 more than his cohorts. Like, come on. It's just insane. It's just insane. Like, come on. $500,000. $500,000. Thank you for your comments. Let's look at this video. Is it over? Is it over?
Steve, what?
Judge McAfee skillfully split the issues and addressed the fundamental fairness issues by allowing DA Willis to make the decision who's going to prosecute this case.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has to find a new prosecutor for the Georgia election interference indictment of former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants. Nathan Wade resigned yesterday after Judge Scott McAfee gave DA Willis a decision of either removing herself or Wade from the case. Atlanta News First Carly Barnett explains we still probably won't see the trial start for a while.
After weeks of testimony,
our relationship wasn't a secret, it was just private.
And at times heated back and forth.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Okay.
Friday, Judge Scott McAfee ruled Fulton County District Attorney Fani.
It is a lie. It is a lie. Ugh. Ugh. Could you imagine arguing with that? Look, it's just gross. Like I said, Fani's not bad looking, but when she opens up her mouth, she gets so unattractive. That's the truth. It's the truth. I'm sorry. No offense to anybody, but sometimes your behavior can make you look way worse than you actually look, and it's just. Yeah,
Willis must step down from the election indictment case or fire her special prosecutor and former romantic partner, Nathan Wade. Wade ultimately resigned, saying in part, I am offering my resignation in the interest of democracy, in dedication to the American public, and to move this case forward as quickly as possible. As a result, trial attorney Jamara Edwards-Shipp says this could mean delays in the election case involving former President Donald Trump.
I don't think that this case will see trial before the election. There are just way too many variables.
Trump's Georgia attorney Steve Sadow said the ruling did not go far enough, vowing to use every option available to dismiss the alleged election interference case.
They want to make sure that he made sure that he applied the principles of law in the correct manner, and they're going to send that up to the Court of Appeals, and it may even go to the Georgia Supreme Court.
Meanwhile, a state Senate committee investigating Fani Willis over alleged misconduct or financial improprieties is thinking of its next steps.
We'll make recommendations at the conclusion of our investigation and our studies as to whether we need to change the laws. Do we need to build in more guardrails to reassure the public that prosecutors will be acting in the interest of the public?
Senator Bill Cowsert is the committee's chair and maintains this is not a partisan matter, but one of public trust.
What we want to make sure is that the public does.
And let's just say that. Let me just stop it right there and say that, because what they're saying is absolutely right. This is an issue of public trust, because prosecutors, right? Their job is to represent the people, the state. Their job is to be the voice of the people against criminals, right? They're enactors of justice, right? You cannot have prosecutors and have faith in the legal system when the prosecutors are openly corrupt. Not when they're openly corrupt, okay? So at the end of the day, because this is so public, people have to be able to trust the system, right? The system is not perfect, but people have to be able to have some kind of trust in the system. This Fani just getting away with this and getting away with, you know the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. So just because you can't prove something doesn't mean it didn't happen. And we have to really look and really pay attention. Really pay attention to just what is okay, like what is going on. And it's just it's just a lot, man. It's just like we really have to pay attention. We just really have to pay attention to the details. Like, people are so willing, especially in Black culture, specifically in Black culture, people are so willing to excuse bad behavior just off of the basis of somebody, of the color of their skin, and somebody being Black. So just because somebody's Black, they're allowed to get away with more in the Black community. We don't shame them for their like bad behavior. We don't actually do anything that will really hold people accountable for their bad behavior. Because guess what? Oh, we're Black. We've been through slavery. Oh, we just had, we've gone through this. We've gone through that. And at the end of the day, I think that all that does is just continue to add forth to the narrative of just Blacks not being able to hold themselves accountable. It's sad. It's sad. And to be honest, what's going on, B Fry? He says, J Red, you need to reset yourself on Fani. There is overwhelming disinformation relating to her to degrade her. You've fallen for the negative hype. No, I haven't. I haven't fallen for the negative hype, though. I haven't. It's the truth. I haven't fallen for any negative hype for her. I judge her based off of her behavior. I don't like bad behavior. I saw her behavior. I didn't have anything to say about her at first. It's her behavior. It's not disinformation. I'm not going off of anything outside of what she's done and what we actually know to be true. The things that the judge said are enough for me to not agree and to not rock with Fani. The way that she behaved in court are enough for me to not rock with Fani. The way that she behaves outside of court is enough for me to know that I don't rock with Fani. It's not a disinformation campaign or like a negative train. The fact is, Fani is a bad representation of Black women. That's the truth. That's the truth. Fani is just, she's not the type of black woman that young girls should be aspiring to be. She's not the type of black woman that young women should be aspiring to be. Lynn says, hey guys, hey, what's going on, Lynn? Hope you well. Hope you doing well. Lynn says, truth. B. Fry says, no evidence. That's what the judge says. No evidence. That's not what the judge said. We read through the thing yesterday. That's not what the judge said. The judge did not say there was no evidence. The judge, that's what I mean when I say you make straw man arguments, B. Fry. That's literally what I'm talking about. When you make straw man arguments, the judge said there was evidence of appearance of impropriety. You keep saying that there's no evidence of actual conflict of interest. No, and the judge even went on to say that he believes that they were being dishonest. So just because there's no proof of something doesn't mean it didn't occur. That's just the same thing as saying just because you unalive somebody and you get found not guilty, it doesn't mean you didn't unalive them. It just means that you weren't found guilty for that. That's all that means. I mean, that's really all that means. So I'm like, what are we talking about? The judge did not say that. Look, everybody listening, look, the judge absolutely 100% did not say that there was no evidence. The judge said that he didn't see evidence for conflict of interest, and then he said, then there was evidence of appearance of impropriety. So it's not like the judge didn't say that there wasn't any evidence at all. It's a straw man argument. I'm sorry. B. Fry says she's under tons of pressure. Queen in the making. She's under pressure. What does that mean? It's her job. It's her job. And a lot of that pressure now is self-induced. Didn't nobody tell her to go up there and testify? Nobody asked her to testify. She went up to the stand and made herself look stupid. She did that. She the one who ran to the courtroom. Her words. She ran to the courtroom. Pacing around, sitting down, winking at people, sitting like a man. Nobody told her to do that. She did it on her own. Lynn with the truth. She says she degraded herself. She degraded herself. Maria says, here we go again. I know, right? I know, right? Lynn says the judge punted the ball to the next team. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think he took the safe way out. And he took the safe way so that, like, it's still open-ended. And that's what he said in his statement. He gave off a list of people that can handle this. He just said that it's not the issue of what he's dealing with in his specific court. And he also, and that's what I'm saying, like, B. Fry can be so disingenuous sometimes. But, you know, it's all love, though. It's all love. So B. Fry says, you're way out of reality, J-Red. If defense can't prove nothing, no evidence. Appearance is an opinion. That's not what it, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's the idea that it's reasonable for someone to believe that. The appearance is not an opinion. It's an observation. It's saying, come on, guys. Do I have to really look up the definition of do I really have to look up the definition of appearance of come on, man. Like, seriously. Seriously. The judge literally said in the statement that there is a standard for the appearance of conflict of interest. Why are you so fixated on this particular point? Like, of all the things that's going on, you don't want to talk about any of the things that she did. You don't want to talk about her behavior. You don't want to talk about the fact that she was sleeping with a married man. You don't want to talk about anything else. You just want to talk about the fact that the judge says, okay, I don't see actual conflict, but I see an appearance of conflict. You just want to focus on the appearance. Why is it? And it's not just you either, but why are people so focused on actual conflict when they're going after like 3 or 4 different things? That's one issue. That's one issue. And it's an issue that the court finds standard enough to judge people by. That's the truth. The court finds the appearance of impropriety enough for disqualification. So be it appropriate. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Lynn says queen of the chicken heads. I agree. I agree. She's not an example for anybody but women that just like to sleep with married men. If we're just gonna be honest, that's the truth. If you like to sleep with married men and get up in front of the world and make yourself look silly, yeah, definitely queen of the chicken heads. Queen of the chicken heads. Gene Holtree says judge practically contradicted himself. Plenty of evidence, went easy, but not a good conclusion for Fani Willis. Not done yet. And I agree. I agree. The judge basically, like, this is how crazy what it is, what the judge actually said. The judge literally said that, yes, I don't find appearance of a conflict of interest, but then he went on to say, but I do see evidence of the appearance of conflict of interest, and I think they lying. I think they're lying. So I smell smoke. Like I was saying earlier, the judge smells smoke. He smells smoke. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So the judge did contradict himself. I personally think that Fani got off a little easy. I think kicking off Nathan was nothing for her. But hopefully, it's not the end for her. That's what I'm hoping. And it's not about being against her. It's about like what she did was wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. B Fry says, you against Fani. I told all of you she wouldn't be disqualified. It was so easy to see. Refocus. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. Okay. I guess a win is a win, right? Okay. I mean, I guess. Time says, J-Red and family have a blessed and productive Saturday. Be safe in your travels every day. Appreciate you, Time. Thank you for always coming through with the positivity. Appreciate you. Hope all is well with you. Thank you. Salute. B Fry, Google is free, B Fry. He's currently married. So you can't say that he wasn't married. He's currently married. He's still married right now. Today. He's still married today. Today. Right now. At this very minute. He's still married. What are you talking about? He's married right now. Right now. At this minute. While you're watching the stream, B Fry, he's married right now. He's legally married. What are we talking about? Lynn says Fani stirred up a hornet's nest the other lawyers who are not going to stand for what went on there because their entire profession is at stake by reputation. I've been hearing a lot of that too. That's true. I've heard that. It's like a lot of people in the legal profession are actually taking it serious because it does compromise the integrity of the profession. It's compromising. It's not a good look. That's why this judge, who's like half this woman's age, has to criticize her like she's some like she's a kid in a document. That's what we're dealing with. I agree, Lynn. Jean was on point. Time says Trump and Bill Clinton cheated on their wife. Did they lose their jobs? So let's be clear. If you cheat on your wife or your husband, you should lose your job. No. No, 100%. No, I don't think that's why you should lose your job. 100%. No, not at all. They tried to take Bill Clinton's wife though. I mean, not his wife, but they tried to take his job though. They tried. They tried. 100%. Your coffee. They tried to take his job. I don't think that you should be fired if I don't think your personal matters shouldn't affect your professional matters. But the issue I'm talking about when I say that, I'm talking about character. You know what I mean? That's what I care more about. I don't care so much about Fani just trying to fight for democracy and all that kind of stuff. I care about the fact that these people don't have integrity. These people lack integrity. They're not good people. That's what I care about. That's what originally drew me to this conversation, because it's the fact that their character is flawed. It's corrupt. They're corrupt. They're corrupt people who are supposed to be people in positions where black people are supposed to look up to. And it feeds into my consistent argument that I believe that black culture endorses and celebrates people that are negative for it. That's the problem. Black culture literally will endorse and celebrate the worst people. B. Fry is an example of it. We don't care about the fact of what these people is doing wrong, but it's okay. But guess what? We have all the smoke for people like Candace Owens. We have all the smoke for the Thomas Sowells. We have all the smoke for the Ben Carsons. All the black people that go against the go along to get along gang. Now they call them sellouts. That's the issue. But then Fani Willis gets the support. Fani Willis gets the support of the black church. The black church. The black church rallies behind her. People rally behind her. Don't care about anything that she's did, any violations that she had. But people still, they get so wrapped up in the fact that she's black and nobody wants to hold her accountable. But guess what? And now when people do try to hold her accountable, now it's about race. Now it's a race thing. I don't think that your personal life, if you're a bad spouse and you do a good job in your work and profession, yes, I don't believe that you should be fired from that. In short, time. Sorry about that tangent I just went on. My bad. Lynn, kind as always. B. Fry says, you talking paperwork, I'm talking spirituality, not man-made. She's smarter than all of them. She won. No, marriage has always been a combination of spirituality and human law. That's always been the case. People like to try to make it something that is not, but it's always been the case of where spirituality and legally you're married. It means something. It just, people like to take that kind of stuff out of context. Do you know that religion or the religious people were usually the only people that were really getting married like that, unless it was political? So what are we talking about? Marriage has always been part legal, part spiritual. You can't take that away from it. And in most cases, business too. So you can't pick and choose the aspects of marriage that you want to accept and then say, oh, I'm going to throw away the other ones. No, marriage has always been business, spiritual, business, and legal. It's always been. Nobody in the Bible was talking about, oh, we're not going to get, or we're not going to file paperwork as married. No, when they got married spiritually, they got married legally. What are you like? Come on. It's just. Am I in the Twilight Zone? Lynn says everyone already hates lawyers anyway. Yeah, maybe I'm weird because I love them. I think they're great. I love just, it'd be a great. I think it'd be a great job to sit up and get to just wear a suit all the time and just argue with people and debate and be good at it. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be amazing. Oh, let's see this. Gene says Atlanta's localized soap opera like Jerry Springer show. Embarrassing. Yeah, I completely agree. I will go on to say that it's really more like an episode of Suits. It's like Suits. They just don't have a Harvey Specter. And it's like, maybe they need one. maybe they need one. Because at the end of the day, this is just nonsense. It's like a soap opera. Lynn says Bill lied to Congress. Well, right. Well, yeah. Touche. Touche, yeah. It wasn't the fact that he was cheating on his wife. I think it was the fact that he actually lied about cheating on his wife. Yeah, I think that's. And then Time says Atlanta is corrupt, just like any state in America. I agree. I mean, yeah, I definitely did. I definitely agree with that. Lynn says horrible people. B. Fry says she did nothing wrong. The judge didn't think so. Judge didn't think so. You know what I mean? Judge didn't think so, or we wouldn't have got the result that we got. So I mean, I hate to say that, but that might sound like a cop-out argument, but the judge literally didn't think so. The person whose opinion actually significantly matters more than mine, more than, other content creators, the judge didn't think so. The judge didn't think that she did nothing wrong. In fact, the judge in his statement basically berated her for everything that he felt like she did wrong. So, I mean, that's just crazy. Time, be fried, respect. Lynn says, so frustrating. It ain't over till it's over. Time says you can say Wade a bad husband, but he wasn't living with his wife. Like I hear women say, when you are separate, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, and that's valid, Time. But my thing is, I don't go off of other people's standards. I have my beliefs, and I believe that when you're married, and then I don't believe in like that separated stuff. When you get divorced, you're divorced. So when so if you're separated, you're still married. That's in my book. That's what I believe. When you're separated, you're still married. When you're divorced, do what you want. But that's just my belief. I don't go off of other people's beliefs, and I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's like, I get what you're saying, but I think that it's wrong. I think that if you're separated and you hook up with people, it's still adultery. It's still adultery. It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing in my book. That's just my standards that I live by, though. You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying, though. Lynn says, my dad hated them. He said they don't have to produce results like everyone else and still get paid. Lawyers. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I get it. I get it. I definitely get it. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I mean, I don't hate them, but that's also because, you know, I mean, I'm a fan of like people like Harvey Specter and all that kind of stuff. I think they're cool. So, you know, that's just me though. But I definitely get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Robert Oliver, you know, finally some people speaking sense in the chat. No, I'm just playing. But adultery rocks, right? Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's adultery. Like, it's adultery. And so we can try to sit there and pretend like it is what it is, but be fried. She was married. He's married. He was married. They're still legally married. They're separated going through the divorce process. But guess what? If we're talking spirituality, spiritually, they're still married. Spiritually, in the eyes of God, they're still married. So I'm just saying, like, I get, like, I'm not here to, like, I'm just saying that's the standard that I live by. I don't rock with it. I don't rock with that. I don't rock with it. I don't rock with it. If you single, do what you want. If you married, guess what? You married, you mess with other people, it's adultery. There is no in between. There is no in between in that situation. It is no, oh, I'm spiritually separated, but we're legally married. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. It's bad enough that people get divorced anyway, that people are so ready to get divorced anyway. But that's not how it works. Thank you, Robert Oliver. Lynn says the judge thought her legal work sucked, and it did. It did. She was an embarrassment. And like I said, if you saw the report, the judge tore into her, and it was really kind of funny. That's when it really, yeah, I enjoyed reading that. I'm not gonna lie. Robert Oliver says it takes a strong single black woman to get it on with a strong married black man, right? Good point. Good question. Good question. Good question. It does take a strong black woman to do that, right? Oh, what a queen. What a queen. What a queen. How great. How great. How amazing. What an astounding person. What an upstanding person to sit there and mess with a man that's going through a messy divorce. One of the most powerful women in Atlanta. You couldn't pick nobody else? That's who got to clap your cheeks? Come on. I gotta be living in the Twilight Zone, guys. I gotta be. Republic Room says Nathan backed out. He was never qualified and he knew it. He wasn't thrown under the bus. So you think he just backed out of his own volition? I think Fani, I don't think Fani gave him a choice. I don't think it was ever an option. But you're right. You're absolutely right. He was never qualified. He was never qualified, and that's what people don't understand. He was never qualified, ever. He's never, they said that he's never prosecuted a felony, let alone just being on the level to where he should be trying a RICO case. You're absolutely right, Republic Room. Thank you for your comments, everybody. By the way, I just want to say, for all y'all coming in, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, because I appreciate you. You could be doing anything. You could be anywhere watching anybody, but you chose to rock out with me. And I just want to say that I humbly appreciate it. Thank you. And let's just keep it going. Time says if you are separated and working on the marriage, that's different. No, it's not. If you're separated, like I said, this is just my beliefs. If you're separated, when you're separated, you're still married. When you're divorced is when you're no longer married. So if you're separated and not working on the marriage, you need to be working on the divorce. That's what you need to be doing. You don't need to be worrying about anybody else. You don't need to be worrying about dealing with anybody else. You don't need to be fraternizing with anybody. You don't need to be hooking up with anybody. No, you need to be, priority number one needs to be for you to hurry up and complete that divorce and get your life to the next phase. Because it's bad enough that you're doing it already. But if you're going to do it, then you don't need to sit there and be going along about it. Don't do that. Why are you and why are you involving other people in your mess? In your mess. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. No. If you're going to do it anyway, get divorced, hurry it up. And just hurry it up. Anything else in between that, like I said, there is no gray area. It's adultery. It's adultery. By definition. By definition. It's not just me, my opinion on it. This is not just me giving my opinion on it. By definition, this is adultery. The Republic Room says the judge set this up for a wonderful appeal. Yeah, yeah. I don't see it going any other way. Yeah, the defense is not going to take that line down. Let's just be honest. They're not going to take that line down. Republic Room says Nathan took his mother on a trip with his mistress. With a low life. Yeah, I agree. Tom says if you think Fani was the only lady that Wade was messing with, you crazy. I'm not saying that. But that's my point. It doesn't make him a good person, either or. Don't matter whether you're doing it with one person or more than one person. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. I'm just saying. B. Fry says, I agree with Wade. Separated for years, waiting on paperwork. No, but that's not the case. I think he filed for divorce like right after he got the job. That means that he had to be. I'm just saying, they're saying that he filed for divorce the day after he got the job. And even if that's not the case, still, why does it take that long? Separated for years. Why are you entangling somebody in a messy situation like that? You don't think about other people that got to get in the middle of that? Like I said, maybe I'm living in the twilight zone where things like adultery is just, maybe I'm just living in the twilight zone where things like adultery and things like that just aren't that big a deal. And like I said, maybe that is my problem with Black culture in itself, because those are the types of things that we have to deal with in our culture. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Why? Like, shouldn't you be worried about just getting a divorce over with? Why entangle other people into that? Why entangle other people into that? Republic Room says, she says, at Robert Oliver, Black women need to divest. Trump 2024. Haha, yeah, we rocking with Trump over here. I'm not gonna lie, I am too. Shout out to the Orange Man. Republic Room says, yes, he did. Lynn, more truth. A hoe bag is a hoe bag is a hoe bag. And that's the truth. Whatever. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, guess what? Fani might be a slut. I'm just saying. Jean Holtry says, reference the interview she did before she was elected DA. Someone who won't sleep with their coworkers. Ha ha ha. She did say that. She did say that, and then she even had to say that in court. Remember when they asked her, they said, so you said that you wouldn't sleep with someone that you work with, and her answer was, oh, well, yeah, he doesn't actually work under me. That was, yeah, she was crazy. She was crazy. Republic Room says the judge insisted. True. Robert Oliver says morality and ethics are for white folks. Yes. I agree. I agree. That's the way they act for some reason. You right, Robert Oliver. That's how they act sometimes. They act like it's a sin. It's a sin or it's a crime to expect people to have ethics. For people to just have a little bit of morality. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And Republic Room says he wasn't thrown under the bus. He was never qualified. I got you. Yeah, I got you. He wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. That's fair. B. Fry, I agree. We are men at the end of the beginning of the day. And just because we men doesn't mean that we can't act better, though. You know what I mean? Like, like I get what you're saying. Yeah, we're gonna have desires and all that, but that doesn't mean that we can't be better than those desires, right? That's literally because by that logic, then we should just never get married in general. Because if we're only going off of our urges, then we would never be able to stick to one woman, and therefore we would be setting ourselves up for just automatic adultery. So I'm just saying we have the ability to suppress the urges, but all I'm saying is, why are you entangling other people in a situation that's not wrapped up? That's all I'm saying, Time. That's all I'm saying. Like, I get what you guys are saying. I'm a man too, but at the end of the day, we should be better and do better. Robert Oliver says even being on time is for white folks. Lynn says you the best, Jay. I appreciate it, Lynn. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Honestly. But Lynn, you be showing up and supporting. I really do appreciate that. Republic says we was living with his wife. That might be he was living with his wife. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that he accepted the job when he was still with his wife, because they didn't even know before they got divorced, like before the divorce and all that stuff, that he'd even gotten a job. So it's just, I don't know, man. People, like, it just seems like sometimes people just got to like just choose to excuse like the worst behavior. I don't understand that. Gene Holtry says hypocrisy and projection and lies to the 9th degree. There will be an appeal. I agree. And I hope they do, because like I said, I want them to be held accountable, but I think that this case is just a waste of government resources. So I really think that it needs to be thrown out. I don't think that they're doing this in good faith, in my opinion. Now, like I said, there was a meeting with Kamala Harris. I think that the White House is manipulating Fani Willis. Yeah, I said her name once, right? But I think that the White House is manipulating Fani and basically playing puppet master behind what she got going on. They just want to do anything that they can to ensure that Donald Trump does not get to be president. But they picked the wrong person, because Fani has so much dirt, so much trash. They picked somebody with a glass house. And guess what? It backfired on her. Because now, guess what? Nathan Wade, he's suffering now. And shout out to Republic Room, because he was never qualified. But he was there. It was there. And that's all I'm saying. It's bad. It's not good. It's just not good. I mean, like, what are we talking about? It's just not good. This is not a good situation. And Fani, I hope that the Senate doesn't just blow smoke up our asses, and that they really do hold this woman accountable. That's just the truth. And if not the Senate, I know that I already know. I've heard that there's bar complaints against her. That's what's crazy about it. I've heard that people have been complaining. So if she has to go to the bars, this woman could lose her license. And that's what I'm saying, B. Fry. If there was nothing wrong, then the judge would never even bring up people like the bar or the Supreme Court of Georgia. There wouldn't be. There was something that was not done correctly. Her professionalism. We're not even just talking about her professionalism and her behavior. This is not. There were ethical violations going on. Ethical violations, and just the fact that we can pretend like that doesn't exist. But again, I'm approaching this just from a moral standpoint. She doesn't have any. She's corrupt. B. Fry says they wanted to wait until the kids were off to college. You digesting all the negative hype. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not addressing my point. My point is, are they legally married? Are they married? Are they not married? Are they divorced? They're not divorced. Okay? So guess what? Any interaction, regardless of whatever context you try to add to it, no context matters. No position can change that. It's adultery by definition. The definition of adultery doesn't say if you're spiritually separated or spiritually divorced, but not legally married. No, if you have external marital affairs, it's adultery. It's adultery. It's wrong. There is no context that can be added to that. And I'm just saying, really think about it. There is no context for that. There is no context. There is no context. It's adultery. It's wrong. Lynn says they never thought they'd get caught. Yeah, exactly. They couldn't have. Man says, yep, Gene. B. Fry says, Merchant couldn't prove anything. She was terrible. That's why they were looking for the late info. I mean, she proved enough. I mean, like I said, I guess we all entitled to our own opinion. I mean, I hear you. Robert Oliver says, why are black men expected to be held to a high moral standard when we shouldn't be? Questions that need answers. Questions that need answers. Seriously. That's a question that needs answers. Listen to this question. Shout out to Robert Oliver. Why are we black men expected to be held to a high moral standards when we shouldn't be? Anybody know? Does anybody know? It's a great question. Great question. Yeah, Lynn says, yes, decent people are attacked for complaining about bad behavior. I see it all the time. Exactly. Thank you. It's the truth. See it all the time. What is it that they tell me? They say everybody cheats. Everybody cheats. Somebody told me to my face, everybody cheats. A married person, everybody cheats. I choose, and this is what I mean when I say I'm an independent thinker. I choose to reject the narrative that I have to conform or accept that this type of negativity is wrong when I don't believe that it is. I reject that idea. I reject that notion that even if everybody else in the world has to cheat, I don't have to. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to endorse it. I don't have to condone it just because everybody else does it. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Just because everybody jumps off a bridge doesn't make it smart. It doesn't make it a wise decision just because everybody else does it. It doesn't make it beneficial or helpful or it doesn't. No, wrong. I'm not going along with that. I'm not going along with that. I'm sorry. I'm not. Gene says, right on, J Red. Gene says, right on, J Red. No, right on to you. I appreciate you for your comments. Gene says, littered with unethical and immoral behavior and conduct. Truly a disgusting, comical spectacle. And that's exactly how I feel. And that's exactly and that's exactly why oh my God, thank you. Like, I really appreciate you guys, because sometimes I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's a shit show. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. Lynn says Ashley has skills to shame most lawyers. I agree. Like, she was competing with some big dogs and holding her own. So, I mean, you can sit there and say that she had fumbles and that everything maybe wasn't right, or, you know, that she had moments where she might have stumbled a bit, but come on, terrible? No. Nervous Boy was terrible. Let's just be for real. Nervous Boy was terrible. Should have never been up there. Ashley held her own, and she actually contributed a great deal to the actual integrity of the case. She contributed. Lynn says, why shouldn't you be? Exactly. Why shouldn't we be? Cost to be the boss sometimes. Guess what? Sometimes it just is the way it is. It just is the way it is. Everyone should have high standards. I agree with you, Lynn. 100%. 100%. And it's just, I think that this just proves something about our culture. And I'm a you know what I mean? I'm gonna just go ahead and just say it. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, it proves a lot about our culture. And I'm gonna go ahead and get to this comment real quick. Jean says, Ashley Merchant rocked the house with her investigation and composure. She enabled Fani and Willis to self-destruct. Exactly. She did a great job. Great investigator. She was able to provide receipts for everything that she was saying. You know what I mean? From a majority of what she was saying. And I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not finna, you can't hate on her. You really can't hate on her. That's just the truth. I don't understand why people would hate on her. She did her thing. Lynn says the panel complimented Ashley. Nobody was impressed by Fani. No, the only people that I've noticed that are impressed with Fani are Black culture, or people in the Black community that think her behavior was acceptable or okay. That's the only people that I've seen complimenting Fani. B Fries says we are held to our individual standard. The point. There was no conflict that or financial benefits that would result in disqualification. Merchant was trash. Nervous Boy. Okay, so yeah, that's nice. We're just not gonna address the question. Okay. Okay, we'll just keep dancing around the point. I understand you. I feel you. I feel you, B Fry. I feel you, B Fry. Just keep dancing around the point. Okay. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Okay, B Fry, that was a great way to dance around the point. Shout out to Gene. I appreciate you for stopping through. I sincerely hope you have a great lunch. Thank you. Lynn says, "Who is Fanny's mother?" Call it dance like Fanny. Yeah, that's tap dancing if I've ever seen it, B Fry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's tap dancing if I've ever seen it. Let's just be real. We are held to our individual standard. The point, there was no conflict and that's what I mean. He keeps straw manning. It's a straw man argument. I got you, BGG, I got you. Be Fry. What do you mean? Like, I don't understand it. What do you like? Why are you so fixated on that one specific point? I get that that's the only real ground because that's the only win that you really got, or that's the only win that really Fanny really got in the case is that nobody could prove that there was an actual conflict. You keep saying that there was no conflict. No, see, if you were being genuine, if you were being genuine and you weren't being disingenuous, and I'm just gonna say this, it's just the truth. If you weren't being disingenuous, you would say that there was no proof of conflict. You wouldn't keep saying that there was no conflict because you don't know. The judge ruled that there was appearance of impropriety. So that means that obviously, like I said, there's some type of smoke. There's smoke. You could at least, like, if people were objective, they would say, all right, well, the judge ruled that there was an appearance, so maybe what she did was a bad look, but guess what? The defense didn't do a good job of proving it, so guess what? They're just shit out of luck. That's what a logical, normal, impartial person would say. But just like you're accusing me of being biased towards Fanny, you're biased in favor of her. And why are you biased in favor of her? Is it just because she's black? It can't be because she's a good person. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. And no, the problem is that we're held to an individual standard. We shouldn't be held to an individual standard. The black community's issue is that we aren't held to a standard. There is no standard in the black community. That's why people like me say divest. Divest and get away from it. Make the individual standard because the group standard is trash. That's why I say divest. That's why I say separate yourself from the black culture and the black community. It's not because we shouldn't be held to a standard. It's because we're not operating under that standard. We don't have a standard. But guess what? If we had a standard, then things that go on in the black community wouldn't be allowed to go on. And that's the truth. We wouldn't have a lot of the problems that we have if we did operate within a standard. So yes, black men should be held to a higher standard because guess what? We have to make up for so many people that fuck it up for everybody else. We have to be held to a higher standard. It's the truth. We have to do more and be more because so many people make us look trash. They make us look trash. It's like I used the analogy, the baker and the cake. The baker gives you the best cake, the nicest tasting cake in the world, and guess what? It's on a plate full of shit. Guess what? That's the black community. The black community is the cake. The culture is shit. So the minute that we accept that we don't have to live by high standards, or we accept that there shouldn't be standards, or that we shouldn't be held to the same standard as everybody else, or that there shouldn't be a group standard, guess what? Then the ship is going down. The ship is going down. So yes, you should divest. And that's why I say divest from black culture, because that part of it is trash. It's trash. And guess what? If we're going to accept that we don't have to have standards, if we're going to accept that we shouldn't be in a position to where we have to do more in order to get ourselves back on track, because we're not where we're supposed to be. We're not where we're supposed to be. So if we want to get to where we're supposed to be, then we have to accept that we have to do more. We have to do more. We should be held to a high standard. Stop embracing the trash. The same way Fani Willis says that there should be a high standard for why judges are disqualified, guess what? The black community should have a high standard for who we let represent us, for who we let be the voice of our people, for who we let be the example, the leaders in our community, the leaders for our people. There should be a high bar, a high standard, and you can't tell me that Fani didn't do anything wrong, because guess what? People found that what she did was wrong. So we have to be held by the same standard, and that's why I go after Fani, because she represents the culture. She represents an aspect of the culture that needs to be addressed. We're not going to just sit here and just act like it's okay to not have a unified standard in your community. Once upon a time, even in ghetto areas, don't touch women and children. Women and children are off limits. Now, no such standard exists. There used to be rules, even gangs, mobs. Don't touch women and children. No such standard exists. No such standard exists. It's just not. And it's just sad. It's sad. It's messed up. No such, like, sorry. Lynn says the 10 Commandments are a good place to start. Lynn says the 10 Commandments are a good place to start. Yeah. It really is. It really is. A lot of just basic concepts people, the community itself, we wouldn't have to go through if we just had like basic concepts that we abided by. And some of those concepts are just like everything in the, like, it's just, thank you, Lynn. That's a great place to start. David says, I thought she was a horrible examiner. Her case was good. The paperwork was right, but her trial advocacy skills were weak. Yeah, I mean, and I get that. I definitely think that there was some issues, like there were some problems that she had compared to like Sado and others where she Yeah, sorry about that, but I think that there were definitely some issues, specifically when the judge like had to help her out a little bit on how to ask questions and stuff like that, and she was letting Fani kind of frazzle her a little bit. And so, I mean, I get that, but I think that overall she had a great performance in the trial. So to say that she was terrible, I think is just overall terrible, I think is a little bit hyperbolic. Did she have some areas that she could work on? Yes, I do agree with that. I think that that's a fair statement. Fani 1, B Fry says you have to admit it. Fani 1, and this is the problem. And this is the problem. It's because you actually think that this was a win, B Fry. B Fry, you think that this was a win. And that's all you worried about. Like, come on. Is that all you worried about? You don't care nothing about the people who were missing out on, who wasted their money, the taxpayers' money. You don't care about anything but just the fact that it's like, oh, she won. Oh, Fani won. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. It's not about, oh, Fani won. Oh, no disqualification. Like, you have to admit it. No, I don't have to admit anything. She was wrong. I'm not going to celebrate a champion, somebody getting away with being corrupt. And she didn't get away with it. The story has only just begun. The story has only just begun. So I think I just don't understand why you're so willing to ignore her bad behavior when it's blatant that Fani has some ethical issues going on. I think that speaks a lot to the black community. People like to say that I'm against the black culture, but they don't actually look at the aspects of the black culture that they choose to celebrate. What has Fani done to deserve this loyalty that you have to her? She wouldn't extend it to you. You think Fani is fighting for you, B Fry? Let's just be real. Do you think Fani is fighting for you? But I guess you're right. She won. No disqualification, right? Yeah, she got off. The judge took sympathy on her because he could have disqualified her. And you won't acknowledge that. And that's why I know you're not being genuine. That's why I say you're being disingenuous, because you know that that's not what the judge said. The judge said that he could have disqualified her. He just didn't. The judge gave her mercy, grace. The judge did the political thing. The judge took the easy route. He took the easy route. He was trying to make everybody happy. The truth of the matter is the judge didn't want this to go to appeals. He was trying to pick an answer that would satisfy everybody. Get rid of the conflict of interest. They wouldn't have to get rid of the conflict of interest or the appearance of the conflict of interest if there was no appearance of conflict of interest. That's what I'm saying. We can't just sit there and just be so delusional. If there was no appearance of conflict of interest, guess what? He told her. He said, step down or Nathan Wade goes. Of course, that's an easy choice. So what do you... come on, man. B Fry, you can't be for real, man. You can't be for real. David says, that being said, the judge was gotten to. He wasn't going to stand tall once his reelection was called into question. That's why his reasoning doesn't match his verdict. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think he took the easy way out. I think he took the easy way, and he just made it to where it was just like, he just made it to where it's like trying to basically play the fence. He was just playing the fence. So, I mean, because like if anybody read the transcript or you read the paperwork, like we looked at it last night, he wasn't sparing Fani. He wasn't sparing her. He was literally criticizing her for everything that B Fry is saying that she didn't do wrong. He's saying that she did wrong. Everything. He lists out everything that she did wrong. The only thing that he said was that the defense didn't prove it. Or specifically, what he said is the defense didn't prove how it relates to the current case. That's what he said. If we're really being honest, and this is why I say words matter. We have to really be careful and specific about what we say. Words matter. Words matter. Words matter. The judge didn't say that Fani didn't do anything wrong. He didn't say that she wasn't guilty. All he said was the defense didn't prove how it affects the case at hand. And then he went on to say, however, there was some legal and ethical things that are going on. So if other people want to deal with that, other people that aren't dealing with this specific case, then keep going. So that's what I mean. B. Fry is being disingenuous. He's being disingenuous. But the judge still was contradicting himself. And that's true. That's true. I think that the judge was fair to an extent, but I think that he took the political route. He took the political road. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Jean says, it is so obvious. Notice the way she answered questions. Body language, tone, attitude, guilty. Robert Oliver says, we must embrace blackness over morality, right? Robert Oliver is killing it. Yeah. Shout out to Robert Oliver. These great questions. Great questions, but he's going to... B. Fry says, that's what matters. The judge ruled to appear neutral. Merchant had no witnesses left. I'm going to ask, what the French toast does that have to do with anything that I just said or anything that was said? Seriously, what does that have to do with anything? Yes, the judge, what matters? What matters? The judge ruled to appear neutral, yes, but I'm just saying, the judge literally gave reasons, and like I'm saying, you're ignoring everything that the judge actually said and just focusing on the ruling. The judge literally said that there is a standard for appearance of impropriety, and then he reacted within what his jurisdiction was. You notice that nobody is saying that the judge did anything wrong. The people are saying that the judge was being a pussy. That's what everybody's saying. That's what people are saying. You notice you're the only one, B. Fry, that's actually just in willfully ignoring what the judge said. Nobody said that the judge was doing something that he didn't have the power to do, or that the judge was. People are saying that the judge was off, but nobody said that the judge didn't do something he didn't have the power to do, right? On either side. So if the judge made an action that led to another action, that's a ruling. There was a consequence. Why was there a consequence? Because something was there. Something happened. And the judge even said himself, he thought they were lying. He thought that they were lying. So that's what I'm saying. You can't pick and choose and just cherry pick. You can't cherry pick positions like that. I mean, you can try, but I'm not gonna let you get away with it. Lynn says Daddy was a Black Panther. Yep. Yep. And apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. B. Fry says, you need to change your surroundings and read more books. Too bad for you. I mean, I guess. I guess. I guess. I mean, you got it, man. You got it. Like I said, I'm just crazy. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just some guy that just cares about what words mean. You know what I mean? Lynn says the government is controlled by the domestic terrorists of the 70s. Yeah. Yeah. Boy. Jean says normalizing with excuses. Lynn says Jay is on point. Thank you. I appreciate it. Robert Oliver says, we black folks need to reject morality, ethics, and Jesus. To hell with standards for blacks. Absolutely. Absolutely, Robert. You know, it doesn't matter. We don't need to be great people. We don't need to do better. We don't need to, you know what I mean? We don't need to be examples. We don't need to be a good example for our legacy and the people that come after us. You know, even though the things that we do, especially in social media, they're going to be there for perpetuity. But, you know, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we got to, you know, we just got to live by our own standards, right? Live by B Fry says she was truthful. She beat 15 lawyers. Fani is a queen. More women should be like her. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Wow. What the fuck? Holy shit. I'm sorry, excuse my language. What the fuck? Oh my God. B Fry, I mean, what do you be watching? What do you be watching? Like, I'm sorry. Like, excuse my ebonics, you know, I know I don't read enough books, but you know, what are you watching? Have you ever seen the disposition of somebody that's not telling the truth? Have you not seen any of these body language experts breaking down how Fani was untruthful? Do you not hear how the judge himself believes that they weren't being truthful? So what are you talking about? So and this is the thing, how do you know that she was being truthful? Just because, see, this is the thing, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Do any of y'all, have any of y'all seen the Boondocks? And y'all remember the Boondocks, and then it was these two clowns on the Boondocks, right? But they said something. These two clowns said something that was incredibly true. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. This is I don't remember the character's name. Type it in. Look, Google it. The evidence of absence is not the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. That means that just because you can't prove something didn't happen doesn't mean that it didn't happen, and vice versa. So, B Fry, you cannot prove that she was truthful. You're just saying that's your opinion. That's your opinion, and that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion, but you cannot just say it as fact. You just say you feel like she was being truthful, but she's not a queen. There's nothing queen about Fani, and if you believe, I'm sorry, but with all due respect, if you believe that Fani is a queen and that she's what women should be like, then you are a problem in the black community, and that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Because Fani is like I said, she's a terrible representation of what black women should be. So even if she doesn't represent black women, she's a complete opposite of what black women should need to be. There's a consensus on that. You have to agree that Fani is not the woman that black women should be. She is a hyena in a dress. She's completely unprofessional. She's not good at her job. Guess what? These are things that a judge said. A judge half her age said, not me. She's unprofessional, unethical, morally questionable. Like, come on. What are we talking about here? Like, no, I'm sorry. No, women, you listening to this? Fani is the path to destruction. She's what you don't want to be as a woman. We really want to talk about it. That's what I was going to make the stream about. That's what I was going to make the stream about. Because guess what? Fani represents the typical modern woman who doesn't mean well for anybody outside of herself and is willing to throw people under the bus in order to get what they want in life. She's so focused on her career that she's willing to throw other people under the bus. She's so focused on her progression, her involvement in the case, her importance, that she's willing to throw other people under the bus. She is sick. She's sick. Fani is not a representation of what you want women to be. And I'm sorry, I do not want to see a world where women are growing up to be like fucking Fani Willis. And the day that we do, that's the truth, we deal with it already and we see how these women are and they represent the worst. And then we wonder why the black community is in the state that it is, why there's a gender war, why people can't get along. And then we sit there and then when somebody calls them hyenas, now you get mad. Because they represent themselves that way. They act like whores and then people get mad when they call them hoes. No, Fani is not what women should be like. And if you feel like that, then you're part of the problem. Respectfully, you're part of the problem. Robert Oliver says, be fried. Most women need to get their freak on with married men. I agree. Great questions. Gene says, Ashley Merchant simply allow Fani Willis to go off the rails. B. Fry says, yes. And I wonder what you were saying yes about. Fanny's behavior. Lynn says, Fanny's behavior towards her colleagues was atrocious. Robert Oliver says, be Fry. White folks have used morality and ethics to hold black folks back. We black folks should have nothing to do with it. Be fried. Why you not answering Robert Oliver's questions? These are good questions, Be fried. I'm just saying. Gene Holtree says it will be short-lived. She is in jeopardy. I agree. Congress already said that they're not going to let this go. They're not going to let this go unpunished. She's going to go in history as the DA who's made it harder for other DAs. Guess what? Whatever other DAs thought that they could get away with before this, they're not going to be able to get away with it now. B. Fry says, attempt to steal an election. Go get him, Fani. J. Red, you making excuses. Nobody attempted to steal an election with any valid proof. I mean, I understand that, proof is not something that, particularly people from a certain political ideology tend to require in order to form their opinions. But, yeah, there was no actual verifiable proven way. There was no verifiable, proven attempt to steal any election that anybody with any amount of common sense could actually see. And that's just the truth. Nobody can prove that. Nobody can prove that anybody tried to steal the election. And that's just the truth. That's the truth. I'm not making excuses for anything. Robert Oliver says, shout out to married black man Jesse Jackson for having a baby by a strong and intelligent black woman who was not his wife. Yeah, shout out to the adulterers. Love to see it. Love to see it. B. Fry still continuing to tap dance around the actual points and not actually address anything that's actually being said. The defense couldn't prove nothing because she didn't do anything wrong. She was truthful. Again, like I said, B. Fry doesn't actually address what's just saying. He just keeps repeating the same things over and over again. And just because you keep repeating the same untruths doesn't mean that they become more truthful. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, just because you keep saying the same thing over again doesn't make it any more truthful. The defense couldn't prove actual conflict of interest. And that's why I don't understand. Be fried. This is just real talk right now, right? Real talk. You know what I mean? This is just me to you right now. Real talk. Why is it so hard for you to actually be genuine? Like, why is it so hard for you to be genuine? You know what you're saying is out of context. You're not dumb. You know what you're saying is misrepresenting and framing the point of what was said. You know that you're framing it wrong. You know that you're doing that. You know that what you're saying and what actually happened is not exactly what happened. But yet and still you continue to do it, and then you're trying to make it seem like I'm crazy because I'm not going along with it. You know that what you're saying is not true. They didn't prove actual conflict of interest. The judge said that appearance of conflict is enough or of a standard for disqualification. The judge said when there's an appearance of conflict of interest, then there are a number of different remedies. When there's actual conflict, it's automatic disqualification. So the judge didn't say that they didn't prove didn't prove what their case is. All they had to do was prove that there was an appearance of conflict of interest. That's all they had to do. That was the bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel was they had to prove that there was an appearance of conflict of interest. So when you say that, you're being disingenuous, and that's just the truth. I'm sorry, like I said, respectfully, you're being disingenuous. That's not what was said. The judge could have removed her from the case. He didn't. He chose not to. But he could have. So when you say that there was no evidence, that's not true. There was evidence. There was evidence. The evidence pointed to appearance of a conflict of interest. And that was grounds standard for the state of Georgia. It was standard that it could have led to her being disqualified. So you can't sit there and pretend like people are crazy for saying that that's what could have happened. No, that was a real outcome that could have happened. It could have happened. The defense managed to prove that that's what I'm saying. If you were genuine, you would say they didn't prove that there was an actual conflict. You would tell the truth and say that there was enough grounds for appearance, but you would say that there was no actual conflict. And then you would make fun of them for not getting the sure win. That's what people do when you have good faith. That's good faith. Make fun of us for not getting the sure win and only getting a partial win. How about that? It's not genuine, man. I'm just saying. Be real. Be real. What's so hard to be truthful? Why is it so hard to be truthful? Lynn says, just like Comey did with Hillary, she's guilty, but we'll let her go. Yeah. Yeah, the judge literally said that I believe, he literally in so many words within his legal ability said that I believe that she did what she did. Y'all just didn't prove it. That's what the judge said. And B. Fry being disingenuous. I'm sorry. It's just he said that there was an odor of mendacity. Who was lying? He didn't say Fani was lying. Maybe he meant other people were lying. Ugh. Speculation. Speculation. Moving on. Gene says, right on. Boondocks rock. Love the Boondocks. Love the Boondocks. Yeah, true. Evidence of absence is not the absence, or the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Yeah, but true. Love the Boondocks. Lynn says, no thanks, B. Might have missed that one. Robert Oliver says, B. Fry, we must raise our black daughters to be strong enough to snag strong married black men and use cash. Right. Right. And lie about paying all that money back, going half on everything. Get out of here. Get out of here. Full of it. Just full of it. Jean says we all have faults, but she opened herself up to judgment. An abomination, not a model. Facts. Facts. And then the thing is, people like B. Fry is being disingenuous because all the judge said was you didn't prove how this relates to the case right at hand. It doesn't mean that she wasn't guilty of anything that they said. They said you didn't prove that how it relates or interferes with the case that I'm the judge over. If you were being genuine, B. Fry, you would say all of that. You would tell the truth. You would tell the truth. That's how I know that you're being disingenuous. But I get it though. A win is a win, right? A win is a win. B. Fry says the DA of Fulton County, great accomplishment thus far. She conducted herself the way she was supposed to. Look at this. Look at this. It's delusional. Defend yourself. She did. Trump is in trouble. She didn't defend herself. She looked stupid. She looked stupid, and that's the truth. She went up there, she acted a fool. And that's why the judge said that she was unprofessional. On record, the judge said that she was unprofessional. Fani didn't do what she was supposed to do. She looked stupid. And black culture is the only culture where you'll sit up and see people try to reward people for looking stupid. Reward people for bad behavior. Reward people for piss poor behavior. Reward people for doing wrong. Black culture is always going to be there to big them up. Always. Trash. Robert Oliver says, be fried. It takes a strong black woman to be improper and have black churches praise her. Don't you agree? No, B. Fry says she didn't do anything wrong. Even though she's going to churches, manipulating and tainting the juries, you know what I mean? She didn't do anything wrong. I told you prior to this ruling, Fani was not going to be there. I don't understand why you can't just readjust your thought. B. Fry, you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Let's just be real. You're just repeating the same thing over and over again. You're not actually addressing any points. So, I mean, what's the point? What are you trying to, what are you actually saying? What are you saying? You're not addressing the same, you keep saying the same thing over and over again. You're not actually addressing anybody's points or anything that anybody's saying to you. So, I mean, come on. Okay, we get it. You're happy that she wasn't disqualified, but you're excusing her piss poor behavior. You're excusing the ethical violations, and you're excusing everything that she did wrong. So, why don't I readjust my thoughts? Because I'm not wrong. I've always approached this from an ethical standpoint, from a moral standpoint. And guess what? I've also approached it based off of the information and the facts that have been presented. So I'm not going to readjust it just because she wasn't disqualified. That doesn't mean that she does anything wrong. I just understand that words matter. Words matter. Marcus Harrison, you messy. You be fried. You should cam up. Guys, I don't think that'd be as fun for me as it would be for y'all. Gene says correction. Abomination of role modeling and conduct. She is so guilty. She was shaking. Ashley Merchant made her blood pressure skyrocket, frantic with guilt. Yeah, she was sick up there. Let's just be for real. She was up there clowning, acting a fool. Robert Oliver says, it was a white man who wrote, avoid the appearance of evil in the Bible. Black folks need to ignore that. Yeah. Lynn says the swamp stole the election. Facts. Facts. It's actually verifiable. Look at it. There's actual articles that where people have actually expressed that they worked together in conjunction to make sure that Donald Trump was not reelected. That's the truth. That's the truth. B Fry says, "You're young. I need to give you more years to live." Okay, here we go with that shit. Here we go with that shit. Okay, whatever. Fani is powerful. She has more hate coming her way. She beat them. The queen is raising and it's not surprising. Like I said, B Fry is on his way to basically being a perfect testament of why I say black culture is trash. And that's the truth of the matter. Because he said, what do I always say? Anybody that's been watching me for any amount of time, what do I always say? I always say black culture is trash because we champion the things that are worse for us. We celebrate the people that are worse for us, and we reject the people that mean us well. That's common. I'm consistent, and guess what? B Fry is becoming a textbook example of that. Robert Oliver says, "B Fry, black women are always right, even when they are wrong." Lynn says, "TDS has arrived." Oh, man. Oh, guys. B Fry, if you want to, you can cam up one of these days, but not today. Oof. I just don't understand. I don't understand why it's so hard. Why does the black community fight so hard? Why do you fight so hard for the worst people? If you would spend half that energy holding Pookie accountable, maybe the black community wouldn't be like, let's just really think about this and put this in perspective real fast. If these blacks that spend all this energy defending Fani and going against people that aren't rocking with her, if you spent that same energy going after Pookie and holding Pookie accountable, maybe the black community wouldn't be so trash right now. I'm just saying, let's just be for real. The woman was literally reprimanded in a legal document by the judge, but it's still okay. And they're still gonna give her a pass. They're still gonna show. B Fry says he's going to block me, but it's all love. Who's gonna block you? Who's gonna block you? I don't have any moderators, and I'm not blocking anybody. So what are you talking about? You give me a headache, but I'm not gonna block you. I don't got any mods yet. So I mean, but you know, there you go. Your lefty is showing. Your lefty is showing, B Fry. Your lefty is showing. That's what the leftists do. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, conservatives really don't block people like that. You know what I mean? Quote unquote, since I'm a Republican, right? Republicans really don't block people like that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We have the conversation. There's only one side, if we're really being honest, there's only one side of the political spectrum that's really interested in censoring anybody. I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm not trying to censor anybody. I'm not trying to censor anybody, even as wrong as you are. You're absolutely wrong. And I'm not going to take that back. You're be fried. I need you to be clear and understand what I'm saying. You're absolutely 100%, 1000% wrong. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. And I think that what you're saying is destructive to the black community. I think that if you believe that Fani is what women should be, then I believe that what you're saying is dangerous to the black community. Let's get that straight. But I don't want to censor you. No, I just want to prove you wrong. I want to prove you wrong. Or I want to use as an example for other people, because other people have to understand that no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. And it's not cool. It's not cool. And that's just the truth of the matter. It's the truth of the matter. Like, but I'm not gonna block you. I'm not trying to censor anybody. All right, let's go. It says Fani Willis, Robert Oliver says, Be Fried. Fani Willis is a testament to how much we appreciate strong and intelligent black women with low standards. This is why black churches honor her. And B. Fry says, this is a great example on how the system tries to denigrate a person who stands up. Lynn says, who remembers King Face? I miss him. Who's King Face? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm having a brain fart right now. Who's King Face? Let me know, Lynn. That's funny. King Face. B. Fry says that comment was for Robert Oliver. Okay, I mean, it's a great example of how system tries to denigrate the person who stands up. I don't think so. I think she gave them ammo. I think she put herself in the arena. She got in the boxing arena, and what happened was she didn't have a strong chin. She can dish it out, but she can't take it, and that's what it is. That's what it is. It's not about democracy. It's not about anything else. What it is we're seeing a black woman who got up in front of the world and made herself look crazy. She made herself look crazy. She made herself look crazy. So I'm just saying. Good luck, Robert. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. I'm waiting to see his response too. I'm not even gonna lie. Be Fry. Be Fry. Come on. But yeah, basically in a nutshell, I mean, like the judge was pretty clear, and I mean, despite people's unwillingness to hold Fani Willis accountable, despite even the judge himself's willingness to hold Fani Willis accountable, only thing that we can hope for now is that Robert Oliver says, I know you feel strong black women should have no standards, so please elaborate. The Fry says, stepped away. Basically, it's when your comment was, is this comment, B. Fry, when you said, this was a great example on how the system tries to denigrate a person who stands up. You were saying that in defense of Fani, right? You were saying that basically the system works together to bring down people that try to stand up for something. I'm assuming that you were talking about Fani in relation to, you feel like strong black women basically should be not held accountable for their wrongdoings. That's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm taking it. I'm taking it as you basically saying that because Fani is a strong black woman, she shouldn't be held to the same standards. Or, in fact, black people shouldn't be held to the same standards. But because Fani is a strong black woman, she should be held to no standards. Oh, snap. I feel. Oh, snap. I feel. Abort face, be fried. Don't start your don't do the I feel thing. Cause abort. Abort. Gene says it's kind of like cheering for OJ, a murderer, just because. Yeah. You know all the people all the people that were cheering for OJ, they said that it'd be groups of people and they be cheering, and it was like one group of people that was cheering for OJ and they black people, and it was the white people, they upset because OJ just got away with murder. And a lot of those same black people had to come back later and be like, yeah, OJ did it. But they only cared because OJ was black. And they were just happy that a black man was able to get away with doing something for a change because they feel like the system was working against every M. So I'm curious of what B. Fry's answer is, because I want to know why it is that black culture is so okay with excusing this bad behavior. It's like there's no accountability in the black community. And this is what I mean when I say that it's a hyena culture. Because at the end of the day, this hyena culture can't exist without men to enforce that hyena culture. So when men like B. Fry, no offense, but I'm just saying, when you say that you want these women like Fani Willis, what you're saying is you want a woman to uphold this hyena culture. You want a woman to basically be the dominant over man. You want this woman to be able to literally go about do explicit corruption, or let's not say explicit corruption, to do inexplicit corruption and just basically get away with it. And you're going to champion her and call her a queen. You called her a queen. A queen. A woman who sleeps with married men. A woman who gets on the stand of her legal profession, of which she's expected to be held to a higher standard. 1, for being an attorney. 2, for being one of the most powerful attorneys in the state. 3, she gets up there. And 3, just on the merit that she's a black woman that's supposed to be a successful example for other women to follow. All these things, and then she gets up and she acts a fool, and it's supposed to be okay. Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Robert Oliver says morality and ethics only oppress black folks, right? We can't be expected to conform to that. Let me know, B. Fry. Guess he stepped away again. B. Fry, you there? Oh, well, you snooze, you lose, buddy. This looks like a concession to me. Robert Oliver says, be sure to teach your granddaughters to aspire to have low standards like true black folks are supposed to have. Right. And that's the truth. Oh, okay. Okay. B. Fry says, yes, I was talking about Fani. She's getting persecuted and death threats just because she's holding Trump accountable. Fani is reacting to historical narratives that come from whites. Fani won. Actually, you're wrong. You're wrong because Fani isn't getting death threats because of Donald Trump. She's getting death threats because of the YSL case. So, I mean, there's a difference. She wasn't getting threats because she wasn't getting threats because she was going after Trump. She was getting threats because she was getting threats because she was getting threats because she was prosecuting one of the biggest gangs in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, number one, I mean, that's wrong. She's trying to hold Trump accountable, but she's trying to hold him accountable for something that's baseless and really, if we're really being honest, this entire case is real election interference. If we're really being honest, and she's reacting to historical narratives that come from whites. So basically, all in a nutshell, you're just excusing her bad behavior. She didn't win. King face. What is that? Yikes. Oh, that's crazy. RIP to him. Lynn, I'm gonna check him out. Thanks. I'm gonna check him out, see what he was talking about. B Fry says both YSL and Trump. I don't believe that. I'm saying I just don't believe that. I think that might be what she's saying. She might have said that. I didn't hear her say that it was coming from both them, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's not true. Right, we can do that, right? We can just say we just don't believe something and it's not true, right? So I don't believe it. I don't believe it, B Fry. Nope, it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Never happened. Nope. Didn't happen. That was so petty. Gene says right on. What they accuse, they themselves are guilty of, and that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, it's exactly it's election interference, and that's what it is in a nutshell. They're interfering in the election by basically telling you that if you have a valid concern or a valid reason to challenge the election, which you are allowed to do, which nobody's ever had a problem with before Donald Trump. You're allowed to challenge the election, but all of a sudden, when you do, now all of a sudden you're compromising democracy. You're compromising the state of democracy. You know what I mean? It's just that people are full of it. They're full of it. But that's what the left is. That's what the left is, full of it. B Fry says, I have fake electors and need 11,007 people. He didn't say that. Or I mean, he said that, but you know, that statement is out of context, so it holds no weight. The statement is out of context. He didn't say pull them out of nowhere. He didn't say create. That's what I mean when I say words matter, because you just basically assigning words to what the man said when he said what he said. He didn't say create me 11,000 votes. He didn't say create me these missing votes. He didn't say, I've set up these fake electors. He didn't say any of that. All he said was, I need 11,000 votes. I feel like we're missing them. Do you know where they are? That's not the same thing as telling somebody to fabricate or create something out of thin air. And I'm tired of people sitting there just trying to create this false narrative. And I'm trying to give you and Robert this time to get it, Be Fried, because guess what? You got me tired. I'm tired. I'm just playing. But yeah, seriously though, you're taking that statement out of context. That's not what he said. And you know what I mean? Like, that's not what he was saying. And you know that. That's why I say you're being disingenuous. Like I don't know what else to say. I'm tired of using that word. Robert Oliver says at Be Free and teach your grandsons if they get married to find them strong, intelligent black side chicks to get pregnant like Reverend Jesse Jackson did. Yeah, he still hasn't actually addressed anything. He didn't even in his response, he didn't actually address anything. You're not actually addressing the point, B. Fry. You're not addressing anything. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you think you're doing, but I don't think that it's coming across the way that you think it's trying to come across. That's just being honest. You know what I mean? Because you're not actually addressing any points that are being made. You're not addressing anything. What you're doing is you just keep repeating the same cycle of phrases over and over again. Oh, Fani wasn't disqualified. She won. Fani's a queen. Oh, there was no evidence. There was no evidence. And no matter what we say, I mean, you're determined how you're going to feel. And I get it. You say you're an independent thinker, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what good is being an independent thinker if you're not willing to intake new information that you possibly could be wrong? I'm not making up anything or saying anything. I've gone through every document, everything that I've said, I've based on the opinions of what we had to work with at the time. I'm not assigning meaning to anything. I'm not going off speculation. I'm saying that the judge in itself said that there is a standard for appearance of impropriety. And just because you say that there was no actual conflict doesn't mean that there wasn't a ruling against what she did. It doesn't mean that the judge didn't find that she did wrong. He said all the wrong. He listed in a 23-page document every fucking thing that she did wrong. You're talking about results, but guess what? Those results don't mean anything because you're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous. You're talking about a no disqualification. Fuck the disqualification. Fuck that. Who cares if she wasn't being disqualified? The woman is corrupt. Who cares? Why are you so worried about that? Like I said, if you were to be like, okay, well, the defense weren't able to prove anything. You know, they weren't able to prove anything. So guess what? You need to do a better job. If I was in the same position, that's what I would say. I'm objective. No stakes in this. I disagree with Fani's behavior. No stakes in this. The defense should have did a better job of proving it. That's how the legal system works. It doesn't mean that Fani didn't do anything. And the judge even said in his statement, I smell smoke. I don't see, you didn't prove to me that there's a fire. I don't see the fire based off of what you've shown me, but I smell smoke. I smell smoke. That's what I'm saying. I just want to know why you're so disingenuous about that. Gene says media brainwashing. Yeah, absolutely. But B Fry is laughing. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's funny, but I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't think what you think is happening is what is actually happening, if we're really being honest. And why won't you answer any Robert Oliver's question? Why won't you address his question? I'm just saying he's making a great point, but you don't even realize it because you keep tap dancing around it. Why won't you just accept? Robert Oliver says, again, don't you see I am agreeing with you, B. Fry. I am agreeing with you that black women should have no standards nor morality. Why won't you agree with them, B. Fry? Why won't you agree with them that black women should have no standards? Why won't you agree with them? And be fried. The judge said himself in the statement that state of Georgia recognizes smelling smoke as something. So you're wrong. Again, it is recognized as something. Appearance is recognized as something. And the fact that you keep repeating that means that you're being intentionally disingenuous. That's the truth. I mean, it don't really matter. I just want you to answer his questions. I want you to stop dancing. Yes, he's being funny, but he's making a great point. He's making a point. Yes, it's funny, but it's a point. Why won't you address it? Why won't you address it, B-Fry? He's making a point. I'm pretty sure everybody else can see it. I'm pretty sure everybody else can see what the point he's trying to make. I am agreeing. He even said, don't you see, I am agreeing with you that black women should have no standards, no morality. He says again, morality is for white folks. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson lived by that. No response? Black women rule the world. And that's what I'm talking about. Male hyenas, guys. Male hyenas. Male hyenas. Yes, Gene, tap dance like Fani and Nathan. Tap dancing. Tap dancing. Just dancing around the point. Just address the point. Do you think that people should not have standards or not? Do you think that black women should not have standards? That's the point. That's the point, B-Fry. Do you think that women should not have standards? Do you think that it's wrong to hold women to standards? That's the point. God damn it. Shit. What's the specific? Robert Oliver, you mean black women with no standards rule the world, right? B-Fry says, I'm not saying that, right? Joe B. Modest. You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. You got to pick one. You got to pick one. Which is it? Either we're not going to hold people by standards or we are going to hold people by standards. There is no in between. There isn't an in between. Not in this case. Black. Then why are you champ? I would argue that the black community itself doesn't have standards. So how could black women have standards if the community doesn't have standards? How can black women specifically have standards when the community in itself doesn't have standards? How are you going to hold black women? That don't even make sense. Oh my God. What? Thank you, Robert Oliver. He says, I agree. You champion women with low standards. He don't even see it. You don't even see it. You sitting there, you just called this woman a queen and just said that young girls should try to be like her. That's what's scary, guys. That's scary. It's actually people that are telling people to act like Fani Willis, and that's scary. That is really scary. Do I think that there are women in the black community that have standards? Absolutely. 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 But I don't think that we should be championing the women that don't. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna put a stop to this. B Fries, obviously. Yeah, he's trolling. He's trolling. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, he's a good. Yeah, Robert. I'm gonna just be honest with you. B Fry is not the type that's really gonna like really actually have that kind of conversation. He's not gonna have a conversation. So I mean, yeah, yeah, like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want some food, so I'm I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream because at the end of the day, I mean, we made the point. Like anybody that has real common sense, they're gonna know and they're gonna understand that this is just nonsensical. This is it's just nonsensical, and it's just he's intentionally being disingenuous. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like I'm mad or triggered or anything, guys. It's just he B Fry is being intentionally disingenuous, and he's just only worried about just the fact that Fani wasn't disqualified, and that's fine. That's fine, but we're not gonna keep doing this, because but I mean I'll let y'all get that off for a second, but I'm finna end it in a minute, just so you know. Robert Oliver says, for argument's sake, tell me why black women need to reject high standards. Lynn says, only in Fulton County. Robert says, I deal with that all the time. B. Fry says, depends on what women you exposed to. Fani conquered the world on national TV, and yep, Fani conquered the world by making black women look absolutely stupid. She made black women look stupid, and be honest, if you if you think that Fani made black women look good, then I'm like I said, you're part of the problem. Noah's Ark wasn't meant for everybody. We just gonna, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta look at people, just waving the peace sign, and just because at the end of the day, I'm never gonna apologize for holding people to a higher standard. There has to be a higher standard, especially when you're in higher positions of power. You know what I mean? When you're somebody who's supposed to be one of the most powerful people, one of the most powerful women in that position. She's an attorney. It's not like she's just a regular woman. She's a fucking attorney. They're held to a higher standard. And she's not just a regular attorney. She's more than just an attorney. She's a prosecutor. And not just a prosecutor. She's a district attorney. That means that the prosecutors work for her. They work for her. And she's getting reprimanded by somebody half her age because she doesn't know how to fucking act. And the only people that sit up there and think that that's okay are black folks, black community. They'll sit there, the same people that want to cry victim about what the white people do and how the white people look at them are the same people that just want to sit there and champion that stupid bitch looking crazy. And I'm sorry. I hate to say that. She looks stupid. She looks stupid. And she's not just, she didn't make herself look stupid, but she ethical violations. She's a criminal. Perjury is a crime. She looks stupid. I'm just saying. We sit there, and this is what I'm talking about. The same black people that be mad at me because I say that the fucking culture is trash are the same people that sit there and champion the worst people. They champion the trash. They push the trash. The literal trash. Don't have no kind of standards. Don't stand for shit. But then at the same time, you want to wonder why somebody like me, who just sit there, don't have that same loyalty, that blind loyalty, why I say that the culture is trash. Because it is. It is. And this is an example. You excuse the worst people. You abide and let the worst people get away with anything you want. But then at the same time, then whenever somebody calls it out, now you got all the smoke for them. You got all the smoke for them. It's too much. It's too much. I'm tired of sitting here accepting that I'm supposed to be tied or I'm supposed to be linked to a bunch of people that just want trash for themselves. If you want trash, take it. Be my fucking guest. Be my guest. If you want trash, take it. Take it. Take it. I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time trying to fight people on trying to want better for themselves anymore. No, that's why I say divest from black culture. Get away from these motherfuckers. That's the truth. Get away from them, because they'll bring you down trying to sit there and help them. Get away from them. Get away from them, because they will destroy you trying to help them. God, Gene says, Jay Redhead, you tried. I enjoyed it. Keep rocking. I appreciate you, Gene. Appreciate everybody for the comments too. I really do. I really do. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for the bad language. I mean, I try to work on that, but B Fry says, you attract what you are. All women I deal with are high standard people. Can't tell. You just, oh man. Fani defended herself. It's just stupid. That's just stupid. No, she didn't. Defend herself from what? What did she defend herself from? B Fry, Robert Oliver says, and low standard women conquer the world, right? We need more black women like her. B Fry doesn't address the point and says CNN, MSNBC, and the Young Turks agree with her behavior. Oh, wow. First of all, the Young Turks are trash. CNN, they going to, you know what? Never mind. Fuck it. You got it. Robert Oliver says, you are too modest. Jean says, Fani Willis dug herself into a hole. I expect her to be more in the news and in court answering questions. Stay tuned. I agree. It's not over for her. It's not over. Fani let women know that you have to have strength to conquer. Fani will go down in history. And this is where I'm gonna blow the fuck up. Because what are you talking about? No, you're wrong. That's what I mean when I say it's dangerous. It's dangerous information to be telling women that they need to be strong to conquer the world. That's not how women conquer the world. Women conquer the world through femininity. They conquer the world being feminine than they do strength. You cannot meet men on the same playing field. So no, this is what I'm talking about. People, understand that people like B Fry don't actually love you and don't care about you. Because if they did, they would want you to be in the environment that is best to your strengths. They wouldn't be trying to tell you to be like Fani. Fani is not in her strengths. You saying like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I appreciate you guys. Robert Oliver says it takes single black women to conquer married black men. I agree with you. It says when white folks validate our black low standards, we have made it. Yeah, shout out to Robert Oliver for making sense. Shout out to Gene, shout out to Lynn, shout out to everybody that and shout out to everybody that basically came through. I appreciate you, whether I agree with you or not. You know, just hope you have a great day. be honest, I need a break. So been going for almost 3 hours, but not just that. Sometimes this kind of stuff is draining and exhausting. So on that note, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm J Red Unfiltered. Check out the description because we got some stuff. Check it out. Also. If you feel like being kind, maybe you could become a channel member because we're gonna have perks for the for the members of the channel. We're gonna make some special stuff, so that people can actually know. We're talking about like private access. We're talking about early access. We're talking about members only videos. Those types of things. Access to the Discord and all those types of things. Let's really work on building this community. I hope you guys rocking out with it. And just to say, I appreciate you guys again. Could have been anywhere, but you rocked it out with me. I appreciate you. Thank you, and hope you have a great day. J Red Unfiltered signing out.